Have you ever heard something so wild that it literally changed the trajectory of your entire life? Let me tell you what happened to me. Hey, what up? I am Dr. Fade, also known as Dr. Swola, and we are back with another episode. Okay, so quickly. For those who are returning to the channel, thank you so much. But I need your help though. Okay, I need you to go ahead and like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and share the video with somebody who you think will actually benefit from the content. Okay, now if you're new, I appreciate you pulling up. Get in with me, like Boss Man D-Lo said, get in with me, you know what I'm saying? Tap in. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take y'all for a ride a little bit, okay? But anyway, let's get to the first order of business, okay? Because we're gonna get right into it. All right. I told y'all from the last video, which if you haven't watched the last video, you got to go back to the last video. What happened? So what's today? Today is part 2 of my story from dropout to doctor. Now, if you ain't watched the first episode, you can go back and watch the first episode where I kind of give you the origin story a little bit, kind of break it down for you, okay? But now, part 2, we're gonna get into how I actually became a doctor and what actually happened, because it sounds real good to come from a 1.4 GPA, get kicked out of school, get back in the program, and then graduate from that same school with honors, and then go straight off into optometry school. And that sounds amazing, but there was a lot that happened in between, and we're gonna get right into it, okay? So if you remember, I told you guys when I got back in the program that I had to declare a major. I was pre-pharm because my dad was a pharmacist, and I did it to make him happy, because at the end of the day, I was trying to play football. That was all that was on my mind and all that I cared about, if you're really being honest. But then after I got kicked out and I got my life together and God saved and redeemed my entire existence, I decided to figure out what I wanted to do. And I figured I would do physical therapy because at the time I loved dealing with athletes and I loved training and I loved everything about working out and all that stuff. And as you can see till today, I mean, your boy still try to stay in the gym, your boy still try to stay lean, but you know how it is, it's tough. It's tough out here in these streets. But anyway, I digress. So, at the end of the day, I did one peculiar thing that changed my entire life. I went to go get an eye exam. Honestly, don't even know why I went to get the exam. But for some reason, something told me, hey, you need to go get an eye exam. Go get your eyes checked. So I went, okay? And upon doing the exam, the doctor had some interesting findings for me. She asked me, she said, hey, do you have any glaucoma in your family? Anyone take medication for glaucoma? Anyone blind in your family due to glaucoma? I said, well, you know what? I'll be damned. My dad has glaucoma. My uncles have glaucoma. My dad takes medication for glaucoma. He's been taking drops. He's had surgeries. And my grandfather's blind due to glaucoma. She said, you know what? I'm going to have to send you on to a specialist because I'm seeing some things right now that are leading me down a path to make me feel like that's something that you might have. Now, I'm invincible. You can't tell me nothing. Glaucoma who? Me crazy. You better find somebody else to play with. Couldn't be me. But I ended up going to the specialist and I said, all right, let's see what's up. So I go. They do their testing. Lo and behold, my pressures were a whopping 35 millimeters of mercury. Let me put that in perspective for you. Normal pressures in the eyes are between 10 and 20, 21. My numbers were 35. That's what it was. And it was at that moment where I did some extra testing and we looked into all sorts of things. And we ended up realizing that I, in all actuality, did have glaucoma. And when the doctor gave me that diagnosis, that piece of information rocked me really, really, really tough. Shook me to my core because once again, I thought I was invincible. Doc told me there's no cure for glaucoma. You're going to live with this condition, probably for the rest of your life. And it started to hit me. Well, darn it. My daddy been on it. A lot of the men in my family, they've been dealing with this for years. I said, oh snap. I guess this is my lot in life. And let me tell you what it did. It created a burning passion and a desire for me to answer a question. Why do people go blind? Why do people lose their vision? Why do they lose their sight? I now had to answer that question. So I decided to go on a lifelong journey and switch my major into optometry. That's the reason why I chose optometry. That's the reason why I decided to do this. I just kind of stumbled up on it. And a lot of people ask me, how did you choose this? I mean, you don't wear glasses. Yeah, I know I'm lucky. Don't be mad at me, man. That's what God did. That's between you and God, bruh. But I don't wear glasses. I didn't have nothing wrong with me. I was always good. But God gave me this condition to help me become an optometrist and to help other people. And that's why I'm a glaucoma specialist today, right? So that was where it all started, and I decided to talk to my advisor, let him know what I wanted to do, and he said, look, this is what you're up against. You're gonna have to take several science courses and a lot of prerequisites to kind of get you where you need to be. And I said, all right, let's do it. Let's do what we gotta do. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. There is a test that you have to take before you can become, or you can matriculate into the program, okay? And it's called the OAT, or the Optometric Admissions Test. Now, I'm not a good standardized test taker. I don't know about you. I don't know about y'all. But for me, I was smart. I was utilizing my aptitude, and I was even tutoring and teaching people. But when it came down to taking a standardized test, hey, listen, you can count me out. That's not really my strength. Dig what I'm saying? Not really good at that. Okay, but whatever, we did what we had to do, and it is what it is. But I signed up for the test, and I don't even think I studied all the way for the test. I don't think I got all the information that I needed. I had an old book that somebody handed me down, that was a few editions older, you know what I'm saying? Like it was not part of my thing. I was just so out of it when it came to like trying to study for that test. I just couldn't get with it. Right? I was just so anti-standardized testing for some reason. It just wasn't working. So I ended up going to the test just kind of begrudgingly, like, let's just see what happens kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And I said, all right, God, look, let's just hope it works out. Take the test. There are sections in the test that I ain't even looked at, that I ain't even studied. You dig what I'm saying? Like I'm looking like, oh, biochemistry. I never even took the course. I never even looked at the section. There were certain aspects in the physics section. Never even looked at this. Nomenclature. Don't know what this is. I mean, you name it. They were just guessing. 1, 2, 3. I was in the mini mine and mowing that thing. I mean, it is what it is, right? I'm telling y'all, because y'all need to know the truth. You need to know what's going on. So that's what really happened with me. So ultimately, I didn't do well, as you can assume. I didn't do well. Okay. So I got, I think, a 290 on it. Frame of reference. A very competitive OAT score is about, let's say, 330 to 350. That would be competitive with all the other students, the thousands of students that are also taking this test in the nation, right? And I was at a 290, right? So not that competitive, right? Not even breaking 300. So I was very uncompetitive when it came to the scores. And I was so jaded by the test and honestly so afraid of the test, right? It's very daunting, you know what I'm saying? So I was very, I just was refusing to just take it again. And I was praying like, God, look, man, I can't take this test again. You're gonna have to really look out for your boy. Because I feel like you want me to be an optometrist, but you're gonna have to work some of your magic. Because at this point, I don't know what's going on. See what I'm saying? So I go to a meeting. It's our pre-optometry club meeting, okay? I don't really go to the meeting, but I go that day. When I go, I meet a man. His name is Dr. Batchkalupi. Dr. B, if you ever watch this, it's always salute. You dig? Always salute. But I met this man named Dr. Batchkalupi, and I mean, the man changed my life. He basically came in and said, look, I'm here from Nova Southeastern University, and I'm promoting a program called the POP program, which is the preparatory optometry program. Okay, it was a little bit of an unconventional way to matriculate into the traditional 4-year optometry program. You see what I'm saying? And he was basically saying, hey, listen, I'm offering this program to students who are not that competitive in their OAT scores and who also have had a little bit of a journey when it comes to their GPA. Because one thing you need to understand, when you're trying to get into all these medical schools, dental schools, optometry schools, pharmacy schools, the two things that really matter is your entrance exam score and your GPA. That's what they're looking at. Because there's thousands of applicants every year, and they kind of put you in different piles based on GPAs, based on scores, and it's political. You know how it is, right? It's a tough game. But he came in, and I think I ended up talking to him afterwards, and I said, listen, this is my situation. This is what I'm going through. This is what I've been dealing with. And I took the OAT. I got a 290. I'm not trying to do it again. He said, listen, I'm going to try to work some things and see if we can offer you an admission. But just listen. And I'll never forget him. Like, he'll tell me, like, listen, he told me, he said, listen, if we give you this opportunity, don't let me down. I said, man, listen, I'm the type of person that if there's a door and there's something that I really want on the other side of that door, and you just slightly leave the door cracked open, I will bust that door open. And whatever's on the other side of that, I will make it my own. I'd make it mine. That's just the type of person I am. I just need a foot. Just let me get my foot in the door. I knew what I was able to do. I knew what my capabilities were. I knew I could do it. I didn't have the tangible evidence to show that I could be there and compete with all the top nerdy students in the rest of the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have those things to show for it, but I knew I could always bet on myself, right? So I did, and long story short, I ended up getting my acceptance letter into that pre-optometry program. I ended up doing very well in the program. I matriculate to my traditional 4-year institutional program as an optometry student. And I have, honestly, probably some of the best time of my It was 5 long, gruesome, at times, years, but it was the best times of my entire life. And not only did I graduate there in very good academic standing, I graduated as an honor student as well. Now, I was an International Gold Key Honor Society member, but the point is that I maximized my entire potential when I was in school. And that led me to do some amazing things that I never thought was possible. So ultimately, guys, like, the moral of the story is that just because you get some news or some information that might scare you or that might take you aback, and you might have to figure out like what's really going on, like what now, what to do. That's where you lean in a little bit more and you start asking yourself the right questions. And if you don't stop your pursuit, you'll be successful on the other side. I didn't let the diagnosis tear me down, make me give in, make me give up, and make me think that everything was all over just because I thought I was invincible. I took that and I said, you know what? I'm about to study that thing. I'm gonna learn that glaucoma and till I die, because I realized that ultimately, not only was I going to be a forever patient of this condition, but I was going to make sure that I was the doctor on the other side of the chair treating the condition as well. So guys, that's the story. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, end it. And once again, if you found this valuable, please give the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel and share this with other people so that every time that I drop something, you guys get notified. For now, I'm gonna sign out and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.